Today's book is called Happiness is the Way. Don't forget to please like this video or broadcast. Make sure to share it. Don't forget to subscribe. Hello to everybody who's watching the replay. And we're gonna start. You have total control over the way you feel. Do you believe that happiness can only be found when you achieve or find something? Instead, how about reframing that thought to thinking that being happy is a choice, something that you can simply decide to be? Happiness is within you and comes from the way you think. If you want to be happy, you can be. If you continue to search for it eternally, externally, you'll never catch it completely. Good morning, Joe. Please make sure you like this. Placing the responsibility for your own happiness in someone else's hands or on the off chance of obtaining something is just going to lead to a life wasted. Happiness does not come from other people or other things. It comes from the way you think and how you see the world. If you want to experience true happiness and contentment, you have to change your perception. You should realize that happiness is a choice that is in your hands and not the responsibility of someone or something else. Many people blame others for the way they're feeling. You'll often hear, "You really upset me," or "You hurt me," or "You made me angry." It's common to hear things like this, but you can only be upset, hurt, or angry if you have those feelings already inside you. You have to allow yourself to have that hurt, upset, or anger inside to be able to experience it. You're the one creating your own life and your own feelings. If you're constantly battling with your emotions and always wishing that you could be happier, learning how to manifest this in your own life is vital. It sounds complicated, but all you need to do is make the right choice and choose to be happy. It did not show yet, Joe, that you liked it. See on the top there's like a thumb, it still says 0. No one can make you feel inferior without your consent. Aim to be a person with zero limitation or limits. How are you, brother? aim to be a person with zero limits. There are three specific types of people in the world. Hi, Jackie. The first type of people often feels pain and tension as they go through the years of their life. They are constantly searching for something but never find it. The second type of people isn't quite so stressed but always falls short of where it wants to be. This leads to frustration and annoyance. However, the third type has no limits. Do you want to be a person who is always stressed and lacking, or someone who has no limits to what they believe they can achieve? You need to aim to be a person with zero limits. You need to aim to be a person with zero limits. This person is motivated by what it is inside them and doesn't seek validation or motivation from outside influences. They place no limits on what they're capable of and make the very best of what they have. They don't lament the things they lack, but focus on the things they have and work to make them as good as they can be. The first step is to identify the type of person you are right now, and then vow to make changes to work towards being a zero limits person. The choice is yours. You can choose to be a person who doesn't believe in limits, or someone who is always bound by their own mental limitations. People can only mistreat you if you give them permission to do so. Throughout life, people will attempt to treat you badly. You can accept or make it very clear that you won't stand for such treatment. You choose how people treat you. It sounds like a bold statement, but if someone is regularly speaking behind your back or hurting your feelings, they're doing so because you've taught them that you will let them do so. You have two choices here. Either be happy and tolerate it, or choose not to tolerate it. When you refuse to allow people to treat you badly, when you refuse to allow people to treat you badly, they can no longer hurt you. Let's give an example of being treated poorly in a store. If someone is rude to you and doesn't answer your question, simply walk away from that person and go on to someone else. Repeat the process until you find someone who treats you with respect and answers your query. This means you're not giving anyone permission to treat you poorly. The human brain believes what you tell it. So, if you tell yourself that it's okay for someone to disrespect you, you'll believe it. If you tell yourself that you can't do something you think you can't, and you will never overcome the boundary. Rewiring your brain takes time, but we learn by repetition. Choose a positive mantra and start repeating it. I like this example. You know, you're in a store. Let's say you went to Walmart, right? And unfortunately, I'm not trying to like put like Walmart like down with their customer service or like how they have like their employee. From my experience, like I'll ask for something.
It's not letting me pump.
Let me check. Let's say I went to Walmart and I want to buy a certain thing. I'm looking for a fountain pen. And I asked one of the employee, and he was rude, and he did not answer me at all. I have two choices. I can be pissed because the guy's been rude, or the girl was rude and did not answer me, did not even treat me like with respect, or I can simply just move and ask another person. And if they were rude and they did not help me, I keep moving until I get a person who's gonna answer me. So it's really, if you think about it, it's up to us how we deal with the situation. If anything happened to you, although the people were rude or disrespect you or did you wrong and you got angry, guess what? You had it inside of you. It was just waiting to get out. Don't wait for confidence to arrive. Make it happen. Many people tell themselves that they'll do something when they feel more confident. The problem is, confidence doesn't just turn up. You have to force it. If you wait around, you will be waiting forever. You are what you tell yourself that you are. If you tell yourself that you can't run very fast, you won't run fast. If you tell yourself that you're never going to lose weight, you won't. All of this holds us back from trying. Choose to build your confidence today, or wait around for it to happen on its own. You could be waiting a lifetime. You are not what you tell yourself you can do. You're what you force yourself to do. If you wait for confidence, you won't try. But if you just go for it, you'll notice confidence growing with every step. Waiting simply means you're making excuses and placing the responsibility of your inaction on everything else but your fears. In the end, confidence is nothing more than an attitude and what you decide you're going to focus on and believe. You are the sum total of the choices that you make in your life. Cast aside expectations and make better choices instead. Expectations become beliefs, and when something becomes a belief, your brain has no choice but to accept this belief as a truth. For instance, if you tell yourself that you're going to be extremely tired tomorrow because you didn't go to bed until late, you'll be tired. You're choosing to be tired. Instead, you could accept that you might be a little groggy, but drink plenty of water and just get on with it. Expectations become reality. Your life isn't mapped out, and you always have a choice. What you expect to happen will usually be precisely what happens. We're all going to age as we grow older, but you can't expect to become slow, weak, and sad, or you can turn to health and ensure that you remain as strong and active as possible. All of this is simply a method of looking at life in a different way, which gives you a huge amount of power over how you feel. If you concentrate solely on what your body is doing, you'll notice every single moment it becomes slower and weaker. If you turn your attention to your brain, you won't notice any difference at all. It all comes down to attitude. It's far better to make confident and positive choices rather than turn your attention to expectations. Expectation simply set you up for disappointment. Steer your own course by making positive decisions rather than waiting for life to happen. The past is gone. It's time to look to the future. Far too many people are weighed down by baggage from their past. This follows them around every single day and affects their choices, thoughts, and mood. The truth is, the past has gone and isn't tethered to who you are today. It's simply the past. Choose to learn from your past rather than allowing this past to dictate your emotions and actions in the present. Let's give an example of a disturbed water behind a boat. As you power forward, the water behind becomes frothy, white, and creates a trail. However, this trail isn't connected to the boat and doesn't do anything to stop it or help it move forward. It's just what's been disturbed and gone. I love this. That white foam that leaves and that trail behind the boat is what making the boat keep going forward and pushing it. But this trail is not connected to the boat. It's left behind. I love this image. I just imagine a boat with the trail, of the water behind it. It's just what's been disturbed and gone. It's the past. This is how you need to look at your own past mistakes and baggage. It's gone. You can't change it, but you can let it go and stop it from affecting you today and tomorrow. You are not an embodiment of your past, your actions years ago, or any label you place upon yourself. You're simply you, and you have choices to make on how your life will go from this point onwards. You are an individual, free from past actions, baggage, or poor choices. You control everything. Be motivated from what's within, not what's outside. People with zero limits have internal motivation. People who have a lack of self-belief are motivated by external factors, such as money, opinions, or validation from others. You will never be truly happy if you seek motivation and validation from anything other than what is inside of you. I am so sorry for that, guys, for this interruption, because I'm at work and I still be having like customers, so you have to excuse me for this. But if you're watching the replay, you can always like skip through these. And thank you for the hearts, Nina. كتر خير الله. تمام كيفك انت. A person with no limit is motivated by what's already inside them. This is your aim. Do not wait. Let's say you want to work out, or you want to lose weight, you want to do something in your life. Do not wait for external motivation. Be your own motivation. Let it come from the inside, within, not the outside. Success and happiness are already within you. You have the tools to achieve both of these things. Success and happiness are already within you. Please, guys, if you don't mind, by the way, just hit the like button. You have the tools to achieve both of these things. You simply need to change your attitude towards them and know that you steer the wheel of your own life. Every choice you make is your responsibility, nobody else's. I think people are finding it hard to find the like button. If someone gives you advice and you take it, it's not their fault if it doesn't work out. You accepted that advice. It was your choice. A person struggling with external motivation will blame that person and decide that their downfall is their fault. It's not. Everything is on you. Taking advice that doesn't work out is still your responsibility. You made the decision, and it's time to own your wins and losses. Or you have to exit the chat, then like. Okay. Everything that doesn't go your way also creates a learning opportunity. You can learn your lesson and make things better next time. Or you can continue blaming others and refusing to take responsibility. Did you know fear and money are two of the biggest motivators for humans? But is it healthy? Ignore what you're supposed to do and focus on what you want to do. As we learn and grow, we've been given a long list of the things we're supposed to do and a list of the things we're not supposed to do. Following these rules to the letter will create a cage that you cannot escape. You're not living your life with responsibility by following these so-called rules. Following society's rules means you're allowing someone else to dictate your life. Listen to your gut instead. During our childhood, we listen to our gut and we follow it. We make our decision based on how our gut feels. When we get into school and start to learn, we're told that's not a good idea and you have to do things you're supposed to do. It's time to revert the following your God as you did as a child. You know what's your God? It's the Holy Spirit. Always listen to it, no matter what. You know when you sometimes you had like a feeling about something, but you chose not to believe it because people said this or that, and then when you came back to it, you were right. Always follow your gods. Always. This tactic allows you to find your motivation from within and do what feels right to you. Then you can find your purpose and your path. What do you enjoy? Create a life of happiness by focusing on the things that brings you joy. The things that bring you joy. Following a list of so-called social rules causes nothing but unfulfillment. Everything becomes drab and predictable. As long as you're not hurting anyone or causing problems, there is no reason you can't simply ignore the rules and follow your own path instead. Let me repeat this, it's very important. As long as you're not hurting anyone or causing problems, there is no reason you can't simply ignore the rules and follow your own path instead. Keep that in mind. Ignore what you're supposed to do. Focus on what you want to do. What other people think doesn't matter. Your own thoughts do. Far too often, we seek validation from other people. We ask their opinions, and we feel good if that opinion is positive and bad if it's not. However, the thoughts and opinions of other people do not matter as much as your own. Good morning, Charlie. How are you, dear? Guys, please, I beg you. Hi, Mer. Leave the chat and then hit the like button, please. That seems really desperate. The only person you need to please or answer to is your reflection in the mirror. If you live your life based on what others think, you'll always be miserable and fall short. You're going to fail sometimes, and that's fine. You're meant to fail so that you can learn how to do it better next time. If you're too stuck on what other people think, you'll be too scared to take those risks and possibly fail, and instead you'll do nothing. Simply know that you cannot please every single person 100% of the time. You are not supposed to please every person. The only person you should aim to please is yourself. Be who you are and don't change any element of your personality. There is only one of you, and there is no reason to change yourself for anyone else. You are a unique and wonderful person in your own right. You do not need the validation of another person to believe in your value. It's fascinating to realize that the power to change your life is already within you. You simply need to think about things a little differently, and suddenly everything will slip into place. Simply taking responsibility for your choices, your actions, or how you allow others to treat you will have a massive impact on your life and how you feel about it. As humans, we tend to place far too much importance upon pleasing others and what other people think of us. We want to be liked. We want approval. But does that really matter? You can please everyone in your circle, but be miserable because you're not living the life you want to. You're living the life they want you to live. Who is missing out here? You are. Focus on becoming a person with zero limits. Find motivation from within. Take responsibility for your thoughts and actions and how that the ability to live your life in the greatest possible way sits firmly on your own shoulders. Of course, none of this means that you shouldn't seek to improve through learning from your mistakes. We all make wrong decisions occasionally or do things we wish we hadn't. The key is to find the lesson and change the outcome next time. Healthy self-reflection is something you should focus on rather than criticism for no valid reason. As long as you can look in the mirror at the end of the day and know that you did your best and that you're continuing to grow and learn, then that's all you can ask. You don't need someone else to tell you that you're great. You just need to know it yourself. Because no matter somebody tell you you're great, or you're beautiful, or you're handsome, or you're smart, or anything, and you do not believe it, you do not feel it, it's not gonna matter. Try this. If you're waiting to feel more confident about doing something, just go for it. Break it down into smaller milestones if it feels easier. And allow your confidence to grow. Does someone regularly treat you with disrespect? Confront them. Make it clear that you will no longer allow them to treat you that way. Keep daily journal of your emotions, events that have gone on throughout the day, and anything that concerns you or makes you happy. This journal will be invaluable in helping you to identify triggers or issues that you need to face. I want to thank you everybody for watching, for being here. It's only 35 minutes, but it's really, really important book, and I wish you guys will listen to it again. Thank you for everybody who shared this live, if you shared it. Thank you for everybody who hit the like button, and I hope you guys subscribe, and if you have any suggestion or like a comment, please do leave it, and I will see you when I see you, if God permits. Have a blessed one.